Have you ever tried to pour beer into milk?
No.
So actually, beer and milk are best match.
Aside from using machines to find the best food combinations, Yoshiki Ishikawa spent the last 15 years trying to understand obesity.
We are living in an era when we can manage rocket to go to the universe. But it's still impossible for human to manage weight.
He believes artificial intelligence has the answer to eating healthy. So he built what's called a food galaxy to teach computers how different flavors relate to each other. And from there, he created a system that can teach humans to eat better without making what you consume taste different from your current diet.
And then once your food preference is identified, our proposed system can suggest step-by-step food or recipe that would navigate you from current food style to the healthy one.
It's an idea that could revolutionize the food industry and help eliminate the need for sugar and salt taxes to bring down the public health bill on food-related diseases. Tech giant IBM has already created recipes with its supercomputer Watson. But Ishikawa wants to take that concept even further.
I want to create the final recipe. Final recipe means that recipe using 10,000 ingredients. I think it's almost impossible for human to come up with that kind of recipe. But with the help of AI, we can create such recipe. Even lack of just one ingredient would make that recipe unflavorable.
In 20 years, he believes machines will resemble our mothers by cooking and caring for us with his cookbook at its side.
Like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Andre-Pierre du Plessis, TRT World, Austin, Texas.
Well, joining me live from Albany, New York now is Steve Barnes, a senior writer and restaurant critic at the Times Union, a man who has spent much of his life, presumably, tasting food professionally. Steve, let me ask you something. When you hear about people using artificial intelligence to create the perfect recipe, do you have faith in that they could one day overtake a talented chef?
Well, there's no doubt that technology has, as it's changed over the years, it has improved our food. Because if you think of what cooking originally was putting a piece of meat on a fire. And where we've come today with molecular gastronomy and use of sous vide and that sort of thing, certainly it has improved our food, but the intangibles, as exciting as it was what they're talking about doing with artificial intelligence, yes, that will improve our cooking, but it will never take away from the interesting human and emotional aspect of food, because as of yet, AI is not emotional.
That's what I anticipated you might say. So you're talking about the flair of the chef.
Well, not only the flair of the chef, because food is, while it is nutritional and it gets us through the day, it is also, it's emotional and it is irrational. Sometimes, when women are pregnant, they want pickles on ice cream, it's been said, and I don't imagine a computer would come up with that.
Well, I was talking to an artificial intelligence expert last week in London about healthcare, and people don't trust AI more than doctors because they think, well, the doctor is a real human being. And he said, no, actually, the artificial intelligence health app has so many millions of data points that it can actually one day supersede the doctor. So why shouldn't that be true for chefs?
Well, certainly it will be a tool to improve it as well, because certain people eat badly. Many people are unaware of how high in sodium processed food is, and the dirty secret of restaurant food is it's full of salt and it's full of butter. That's what makes it taste so good. So if we have technology to further encourage us to eat better, to make better options, and if we're aware of options that are new to us and new alternatives and new combinations that can make it taste just as good without being as unhealthful, that certainly will improve. So I'm all for that. Envisioning one day your refrigerator will tell you what to pick out, what things to combine, and it will be accommodating to your own tastes, whether you are going out to a restaurant or you're cooking at home.
Well, Steve Barnes, there we go, vision of the future.